over the weekend, we got to see a wretched hive of scum and villainy come out to play. I am talking, of course, about TwitchCon. I don't know what else you could have been thinking about over the weekend of a bunch of people gathering in one place to be dirty and smelly together, but it's definitely TwitchCon. And I got a couple of videos coming out about terrible, awful, horrible things coming out of TwitchCon. But this one in particular is the one that hit the media first and just trended all over social media because it is gross, it's weird, and we really need to take a look at it. I am talking, of course, about the alleged assault. I have to say alleged for, legal reasons and all that, of very popular Twitch streamer Emiru. This took place in front of a ton of people at a meet and greet, and we'll get into all the details of that, Twitch's response or lack thereof, and all that good stuff here in just a moment. But really quick, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel. My name is Troy, and this is Marks on Media. I'll have more TwitchCon news coming up here really soon. I cover all things media, from games to anime to TV to movies, video games, and everything in between, and pro wrestling, of course. But let's get into this. This is Emiru meeting with one of her subscribers, I guess, or one of her viewers over here. This poor guy got caught up in the, I don't know anything about him, but he got caught up in the mess just by simply being there to meet Emiru. He is not the guy in question that we're talking about, but check this out here. There you see the act taking place. Whoa. Security was a little slow. Here, we'll see it again. Puts his arms right around her, tries to make out with her. Security just comes up, shoves the guy, and then they just walk him off. Like, hey, dude, what are you doing? Is insane. How did he get there? How did he get up there? It clearly wasn't his turn because this guy is up there. At least I don't think he's TwitchCon staff. He might be, but he's got a bag there, so I think he's just there for the meet and greet. And he's just left like a spare prick at the party with all this going on. And this guy just walks through lines. We'll get into all the details about it here in just a second. But I wanted to bring up somebody. Can't read the comment very well. I'll have to zoom in. But this person here, I'm not going to repeat that name in my video. But they just said, let's be real, this isn't a TwitchCon security issue because how they prevent this is entirely a Twitch audience issue. The audience on the Twitch consists predominantly of asocial incels with a prawn addiction, highly susceptible to parasocial behavior. I mean, yes, but it is also a security issue that we'll talk about. There's a lot of response to this. We'll get into who's saying what. First of all, I wanted to get into Emiru herself, her statement after the fact. She did a long X thread, whatever, that I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but she said, "Hello everyone, I am okay, and thank you for all your kind messages. Sorry I cannot respond to them all. Yesterday, the man who assaulted me was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon, and even in front of another creators meet and greet and grab me and my face and try to kiss me. Fortunately, he wasn't able to, but a lot of people have pointed out that it could have been a lot worse. I'm obviously shaken up by what happened, and it's not the first time I've dealt with something like this, but to tell you honestly, I am a lot more hurt and upset by how Twitch handled it during and after the fact." So while I agree with, yes, the Twitch audience, by and large, not to paint them all with a broad brush because they're not all that way, but by and large, the Twitch audience is a wretched hive of scum and villainy, which is who shows up at TwitchCon. And that's why Twitch allows certain creators to stay on while banning other creators. And they boost certain creators who are just awful, terrible, disgusting people, and they'll literally ban or censor other creators with much better content for your brain. Speaking of wretched and scum, let's go to Taylor Lorenz. Was actually sitting with he's the head of Twitch here, and she's still wearing a mask in the year of our Lord 2025. But yeah, let's hear what he had to say about this.
What happened?
The safety of our creators is the top priority. The challenge we face is a challenge in today's society. It's not limited to Twitch. It extends throughout our society. I do think that when you're live streaming, in many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can make it so that those people that you don't want engaging with you and participating with you aren't there. Okay, it's very different. You know, when I use other short form content and people say all sorts of stuff, well, I can't stop that. But when I live stream, they basically don't bother me. Now, what happened yesterday obviously was something that we care deeply about, securing this environment. You know, we're looking very closely at everything that happened there, and I care deeply about Emmy. She's a friend of mine, and so I want to see how we can support her.
Okay, yeah, that's good words there, buddy. I just want to make sure I get this a-hole's name right. Dan Clancy. Yeah, that's right. He's just papering over everything. It's like we're looking deeply into this and making sure everything is good. And he's kind of putting the onus on creators, which, yeah, sure. A lot of onus is on creators with building their audience in certain ways. Not always, but in certain ways. But at the same time, Twitch allows these freaks, creators and their viewers, to stay on their platform without doing a damn thing about it. And then ones who don't have a crazy, creepy audience, they kick off. And I'm not putting Emiru in that. I've never consumed a single second of her content. I've heard the name. I recognize her. I don't know what is she like a game streamer? I really don't know. But I'm not blaming her and her audience. I mean, seems like an e-girl, whatever, non-derogatory, but it's not necessarily her fault. I mean, it seems like a lot of female creators, even if they're like halfway decent looking, get stalked and assaulted and everything else. And yes, it's a societal issue. I'm not going to deny that. Part of it is an audience issue. And outside of your events, you can't do anything about it. I'm not going to blame him for, like Dan Clancy, I'm not going to blame him for like people like Melanie Mack, who got banned from Twitch, by the way, but she got stalked and had to get a restraining order against some guy who like got right up in her grill in, I think it was in Texas somewhere. That wasn't her fault. She didn't bring that on herself. And there are others that deal with this crap all the time. But Twitch released but to finish that thought, when you're at a Twitch event like TwitchCon, where you're supposed to have security all over the damn place, that's nuts. Like, yes, it is your fault. You could have prevented this, especially with Emiru said herself, the dude crossed over multiple lines, like, without even getting talked to about it. Just walked right up to her meet and greet. I've been to multiple Comic-Cons. I could have never gotten away with that. But somehow TwitchCon is so lax, and it's like, whatever. And she wasn't allowed to have her personal security there, which I'll get to that here in a second. But here's from Twitch itself, and they, community notes came in with an elbow off the top rope, I'll say. But taking a look at this, they said, the safety and security of all those who attend TwitchCon is our highest priority. The behavior displayed by the individual involved in the incident yesterday involving a high-profile streamer was completely unacceptable and deeply unsettling. In line with existing TwitchCon security protocols, law enforcement and event security were on site and responded to the incident. We immediately blocked this individual from returning to the TwitchCon premises, and they were banned indefinitely from Twitch, both online and in-person events. We are coordinating with the impacted creators team, and per our standard protocol, continue to cooperate with any law enforcement investigations, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And here we go. Twitch allowed this assailant to walk originally, and it was only pressed to apprehend him until Emiru's manager pushed for it. The individual was allowed to walk originally. Twitch allowed this assailant to bypass several barriers and creator lines. Emiru's tweet on this, and then they share that. Yeah, so Twitch didn't give a damn. They were going to be like, hey, buddy, enough of that. No assaulting women. All right, yeah, now go and play with your friends. All right. And then the manager of Emiru came by and was like, what the hell are you doing, man? the police were there and everything, and Twitch is like, oh, God, do we have to do something? I guess, whatever. And then finally they acted. What disgusting turds! Like what the hell is with these people, man? Just further proving, and it kind of gives way, or gives some credence to Hassan Piker had said he didn't want to be there because of security concerns, which he's one of those creators that does bring it on himself. He actively pushes for certain bad actions to take place, which I'm not going to get too deeply into here right now. I'll have another video on specifically Hassan later, but yeah, he's one of those bad actors. He brings it on himself, but even he knows that those freaks, those weirdos, are going to be at TwitchCon, clearly. So he didn't even want to go. But here's a little bit of Emiru herself. She made a video talking about the event. I'll play a little bit of it.
Okay, I've been talking to Twitch people, and I'm really upset because I noticed a lot of negligence around the event, and I'm not happy with the way that they're handling it now. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, I asked them, what are they gonna do about this? And you know what they said initially? They said, oh, well, he's banned from the platform for 30 days.
Yeah, there you go.
What? And then she's obviously like, hello? Like, that needs to be indefinite. What the f*** are you talking about? Also, that's like nothing to do with anything. No one gives a f*** if he's banned on Twitch or not. Like, we're talking about the convention here.
Right.
So they change it to indefinite. Takes an hour for that to happen, by the way. These two people are the head of security for Amazon and the head of risk for Twitch.
Yeah, there you go. That's another thing. Amazon, you own Twitch. Do you really want this? Like, Amazon gets a bad rap for a lot of various things. Do you really want this happening, like, under your watch? Like, come on, man. You've got to be freaking kidding me. That you're just okay with a young woman who, by the way, apparently she was asked to do that meet and greet. She didn't want to, and she was like, whatever, I guess, because they kind of pressured her into it. They were like, well, if you want to keep your spot on the platform, you're really going to have to, meet and greet your fans or whatever. And she's like, fine, whatever. And they pressured her into it, and this happened. And then they did nothing about it until her manager came down on them with hellfire. They probably, if they didn't do anything, if I was Emiru, I would still talk to my manager about, it's like, I'm sure she has a lawyer she's in contact with that she can be like, hey, can I sue? Like, how much money can I get out of them? Like, this is nuts, man. And other creators are even talking out about it. Asmongold here, he has some opinions.
They are allowing furry borderline to run rampant on their platform.
I mean,
and they're allowing their top female content creators to be sitting ducks, to be assaulted while they do nothing and then lie about their response.
No lies detected, Asmon.
The reality is something has to change.
Yeah. Again, no lies detected.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah. It's been ridiculous. And if Asmongold isn't quite your speed, let's go to somebody who has the most lukewarm takes of all time. Also, and not to dunk on this guy, I love Moist Critical, but I enjoy his content from time to time. He's a funny dude. He's clever, but he has the most lukewarm takes of all time, and even he's jumping in the pool on this one.
And in fact, it wasn't until her manager pressed them for action that they did anything at all. That's unhinged. They didn't want to, jump into action after a assault just took place. I just don't get it. That's completely unhinged. It almost feels like maybe they're more angry about Emiru's bodyguard there shoving the guy. Like maybe they're thinking about banning him from Twitch events in the future or something. Like it doesn't seem like their priority is safety. If they were going to just let this guy walk away until Emiru's manager had to force their hand to do something, this is just not a safe environment. And this isn't a new criticism of TwitchCon. This has been consistently something that people have spoken out about for years with TwitchCon. Like, I'm sure a lot of you have heard the horror stories that have been reported numerous times in the past at previous TwitchCons about, like, drink spiking or, like, the lack of security present, stuff like that. It has been something that people have mentioned numerous times, and every time Twitch tries to assure the community that, you know, they're really taking security seriously this time around. This time, you know, it's locked down. There's going to be no issues. And like clockwork, there's always seemingly some kind of big security concern or something that arises at TwitchCon. It's just, I don't understand how they're not doing anything to, like, remedy it.
Because it's the culture. It's the company itself. It's Twitch. Twitch is a trash company. That's why I've never, ever made a Twitch channel. I refuse to stream on Twitch. I tried it on Kick a couple times, but I don't like Kick either. It's just a online gambling platform, basically. But here, I like Nux Taku, and I've only recently discovered him. I don't know how long he's been around, but he's got a lot of thoughts on this one that I agree with. I'll wrap up with this. It's 100 times worse than you think. Emiru, a very popular female streamer on Twitch, was obligated against her will to do a meet and greet for Twitch if she wanted to keep her show. Emiru's primary bodyguard was banned from the event because in the past, he did his job and stopped someone from harming her. Emiru, during said meet and greet without her primary security guard, was SA'd by a man that walked through multiple lines illegally without getting stopped. By the way, do you know what her bodyguard did in the past to get banned and to get a stern talking to here and banned? Was he grabbed somebody by the arm and led them away. He didn't, like, tackle the guy and beat him up. So, you know, there was that. Emiru stated that Twitch originally wanted to give the creep a 30-day ban, equivalent to the ban Tectone got for calling a fat ass fat. Aside from the gross negligence that Twitch allowed this to happen, they also lied about taking measures after the fact. Also, there are videos revealing that the creep just managed to walk away. Last year's TwitchCon included an on-camera SA, a streamer breaking her back, jumping in a foam pit, and an Arab to Jew racial tier list. Yeah, so they're extremely racist at this thing as well, on top of, you know, calling for harm of others and actually, you know, allowing harm to be brought to others. But, you know, whatever. Since then, there have been multiple instances of female streamers getting stalked, and 1 week ago, one got ended by a stalker in Korea on Twitch, calling for the ending of senators, fellow streamers, or generic right-wing people has become commonplace and goes without punishment. In the wake of Charlie Kirk's ending, they still did nothing to prevent someone from walking up and physically attacking a streamer. To put this in simple terms, Twitch created the idyllic circumstances for a Terry to walk up to a streamer that they didn't like and end them. Tick-tock, Twitch, your time is coming. You know, from his mouth to God's ears, I guess. You know, well said by Nux Taku. That's where we're going to wrap it up. This has been a longer one today, but there was a lot to talk about and a lot of reactions and whatever. I hope you are more well informed about the state of Twitch and what's going on, and thank God Emiru's okay. Like I said, I don't know anything about her content, anything like that. She's a streamer. I don't know if she games or whatever, but either way, she's a young woman, and like, young woman, young man, whatever. Nobody needs to be put in a situation like this. The fact that she couldn't have her security there and the response from Twitch, insane. Amazon, you need to step up, buddy. You know, Jeff Bezos needs to be like, what the hell is going on with my newest purchase over here, my new plaything? Do something about it, man, because otherwise this is going to make front page news again and again and again, and not in the way that you want. But anyway, if you could please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, I'd greatly appreciate it. My name is Troy, and this is Marks on Media.